Hi Nick, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, lovely to speak to you.
Yes.
So first off, how does it feel to be nominated for a BIFA?
Yeah, it's a real. I mean, yeah, it's been a tough year for cinema and a tough year in general. So it's a real sort of nice way to end the year for sure.
And what do you think the importance is of awards such as these, and what would it mean to you personally if you did win?
Um, I mean, personally, it means a lot to kind of, I've followed the BIFAs, from right from being a film student, and it feels a bit surreal to be sort of following in the footsteps of lots of people I admire. But it means even more, because there are so many of my friends as well who are nominated as well with their work. So it's a real lovely celebration, and hopefully it leads to being able to make another film. That would be really nice.
Mm. And coming to the film itself, what was your inspiration? What motivated you to set your first feature film in this very particular, part of Ireland and this story?
It's based on a short story by Colin Barrett that I read when I was in my final year of film school, and I just fell in love with it. Really, I just enjoyed spending time with the characters, and it moved me. I was sort of, brought to tears by the end of the story, and I just kind of thought I didn't really think about it too much. Just thought, oh, this would make a great film,
Mm.
and I sent it to Dan Emerson about 5 years ago now. So it's great. It's great that to see Dan and Joe, the screenwriter, also nominated.
Mm.
Shaheen as well. And the whole cast. It's just a real. I think they've all done such amazing work. So it's really nice that they've been recognised.
And you have brought together such a phenomenal cast, like Barry Keoghan, such a fascinating actor as Cosmo Jarvis, and Niamh as well. So how did you get together these particular actors, and what was it like working with them?
They were brilliant. So a lot of it is down to Shaheen Baig. We start the first piece of the puzzle was Barry. We kind of, from the moment we started developing the story, we kind of had Barry in mind. So we sort of like groomed him over a long period, trying to convince him to do the film, and then the rest was all through the casting process. Cosmo, when the moment he walked in the room, it was just so obvious that he really understood the spine of the character so well. And it's is a real tricky character to bring to life because he's quite unsympathetic on the page. So the way Cosmo makes you empathize with him, despite kind of all the things he does in the film, was that sort of stood out from the first moment we met him. And then Niamh Algar is just such a powerhouse who's very quickly taking over the world, which I'm really happy to see. And she's just the most professional, incredible actor. So I feel like I hope in a few years people will look back on Come with Horses and go, "Wow, I can't believe all these amazing actors sort of were in this one film together when they were starting out."
Mm. And it is, quite bleak in places, violence. What do you hope that kind of, why did you want to take that particular approach to the story, and what do you hope that people will take away from it?
I think it's it starts in quite a brutal manner, but it's the film's in a way it's a rejection of that, and it's about the cost of that sort of lifestyle. So it's definitely not endorsing it. So I want it. I've always aimed for it to be a much more emotional experience than people expect when they first. We kind of set it up to be a sort of traditional crime sort of gang movie, and hopefully you're sort of in tears with Arm at the end of it, and you got a bit more of a sensitive journey than you're expecting.
Mm. And how do you see the health of the industry now? It's obviously been a really challenging year. How do you see, how people are going to be watching films? We're going to be back in the cinema soon. Will we bounce back from this? And, particularly for British independent film, how do you see the health of the industry?
Honestly, I have no idea. I try and remain optimistic. I think when you look at all of the nominations for the BIFAs this year, you wouldn't really tell that it's been a tough year because there's so much great work. So I'm hoping that continues, and I hope people keep supporting new voices, young voices, and independent voices, because it was hard to get these films made before the pandemic, and I'm sure it'll be just as hard after.
Do you think it would be a shame if we, we veered away from people seeing things on the big screen, with this decision from Warner Brothers recently, for example, and we'd be stuck always watching on our laptops or phones?
Yeah, I think I hope, obviously I'm a huge cinephile, and I hope, and I think it will, cinema always survives. At the same time, I think especially for young filmmakers and for independent voices, I think the ease of access to streaming services, is a real, it's a real opportunity for smaller films. I know, Calm with Horses, we had our cinema release cut short because of, we released about 4 days before we went into lockdown. So the fact that we were able to get the film out onto Amazon and onto Netflix meant that the film was still able to reach an audience. And ultimately, that's the most important thing to me, is that people see the film. So, we'll adapt to whatever this new world is after we're through all the horrible pandemic.
Thanks so much, Nick, and best of luck with the awards. Lovely to speak to you.
Thank you very much. Lovely to speak to you.
Thank you.